I'm Steve Adubato. It's my pleasure to introduce two of the greatest educators you will ever meet who have been working together for 15 years. Mary Sakis, social studies teacher, diversity club co-advisor at Watchung Hills Regional High School, and Jamie Lott-Jones, social studies teacher, diversity club co-advisor. You have the same title. This is ridiculous. You've been working together, same title, Watchung Hills High School, and we have you as part of our Classroom Close-Up series we're doing in cooperation with the folks at the NJEA. What are you doing over there that's so special? We're about to see a video in a minute. What's so special about what you're doing?
Well, we have some great kids that do special things, but our students have led an initiative to teach a lesson on Islamophobia. That one of our diversity club members, Helen Yang, was just concerned about comments that she was hearing in classes about Muslim stereotypes, and she came to us one day and said, "Hey, I'd like to create a lesson. Could we teach it in some of the freshman classes?" And we both teach freshman world history, and we said, sure. So she worked on it for about a month or so, and her and another friend of hers, Alana Margulies, created this lesson. They found the student voice resources, they found the TED Talk, they put together the PowerPoint.
So it's a whole program.
And it is.
Listen, we're about to see this video. I hope this video doesn't say everything you just said, because let me just tell you. No, it's actually one of the great videos.
They'll do a great job.
They really do a great job at Classroom Close-Up. I promise you can jump in right after this. We're about to see this video.
Good.
Check this one out.
What do you think when you look at me? A woman of faith, an expert, maybe even a sister, or oppressed, brainwashed, a terrorist?
Dahlia Mogahed's inspiring TED Talk about living as a Muslim in post-9/11 America is just one of the tools 12th graders Helen and Alana are using to get these history students talking about the topic of Islamophobia.
I think that bringing a subject like Islamophobia to the classroom, especially in a world history classroom, I think it brings that element of discussions about things that we don't talk about a lot in our curriculum.
How can we define Islamophobia? We're gonna sort of come up with a class definition for this. I don't think anyone really, in their heart of hearts, believes that making fun of someone or being Islamophobic is the right thing to do, but if it's not something we're actively discussing and if it's not something that's on their mind, then that might just be their default.
How do you guys think that stereotypes are created? Like, what are some of the—
Helen and Alana developed the lesson as part of their involvement in the school's diversity club.
Helen actually approached us at the beginning of her sophomore year and said, "I read this article, we need to do something about it." And I said, "All right, what do you want to do?" And she said, "What if we make a lesson?" And they began to put the whole presentation together.
In one part of the lesson, students are asked to read and discuss varying accounts of discrimination experienced by Muslim teens.
She grew up in America, and her last name was Hussein, so a lot of people thought they would make fun of her and think that she was related to Saddam Hussein.
I love that so many students share different perspectives. I think that's what's important about these lessons. I mean, I don't want to come to a class and be preaching to the choir, basically, right? I think that it's important to really learn from each other's beliefs.
It's good that our generation is learning how to speak for ourselves and create our own ideas.
It's practicing and giving them a voice, that my voice matters. And here you can see with Helen and Alana, who have used their voice to make change in the high school, this is what you can do. If they can do it, you can do it.
I think that talking promotes action. I don't think that talking is enough. So what we did today, obviously that's important, but it's all about shaping a mindset. Once you have this conversation, the reason it's impactful is because then people feel empowered.
I think these discussions are important because it continuously reminds you that it's not over. The fight's never over. It's happening all around the world, and if we don't try to make a difference, no one will.
They're giving this talk especially to the freshmen as they're coming into school, and it's embedded in our unit on the Middle East. So this has helped the kids feel that the school is a safer place, that our classroom is a safer place, and that maybe they have allies that they'd never realized they had before.
Folks, I've been watching Classroom Close-Up videos for about 10 years now, and I have to tell you, that's not what I expected. That was extraordinary. The last young woman we saw, a freshman. They were freshmen.
Yes.
And the two young ladies, Helen and
Alana,
are going where
Well,
right
they
now?
are freshmen. Helen attends Columbia, and Alana is at Johns Hopkins.
These
They're
are
pretty
leaders.
amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing kids.
These are leaders.
Yes.
Yes.
What are they taking away from this in terms of life experiences and how they interact with others?
Well, when I first started at this school, I inherited the diversity club, and it was kind of like celebrating dinners and holidays, and I said, we need to do more. We need to find ways to empower our kids to speak up, and we started an initiative where we actually created a slogan that our kids use, which is speak up, stand up, stop hate. And it has woven its way all the way down to the elementary schools, so that when we have incoming freshmen, like you saw in the video, we can say speak up, and the kids will finish the slogan and say stand up, stop hate. I have a poster in the back of my room that says, speak your mind, even if your voice shakes.
Say that again.
Speak your mind, even if your voice shakes.
So a kid's nervous, afraid, uncomfortable speaking in public, and you tell them, just share your voice.
Yeah.
Even if your voice is shaking.
And you create an environment in the classroom where students feel comfortable speaking.
What is this whole thing about these upstanders? What is an upstander?
So we practice a lot, and we teach them to kind of embrace what they should do versus what they could do and model it. And through that, many years ago, I had seen Samantha Power speak, and she used the word. She said, I don't have a good word for someone who moves from being a bystander to an upstander. So I'm using this word, and I came back to the school and said, Mary, we have to use this word. And I started putting it into my curriculum. And 2 of our students actually won awards and were designers of the change.org movement to get the word upstander added to the dictionary.
How rewarding is this for you?
Incredibly rewarding. I mean, I'm fortunate to work with some amazing students. And really, our goal as educators is, we impart knowledge every day. We want students to have 21st century learning skills, thinking skills, be able to collaborate. But we want students to be able to find their voice, right? They want to be able to find who they are as people, and what is their identity? Who am I? And what kind of positive difference can I make in the world? And we feel like if they can do this in high school, if they can have the tools like to change people's hearts and minds and make a positive difference, if I can do this in high school, why can't I do this in the greater democratic society that we live in?
Speaking of that, by the way, give me 30 more seconds, folks. I want to follow this up. Particularly in the polarized world that we live in, divisive, not just political environment, but social, cultural environment, how much more important is what you are doing?
I think it's essential that our kids feel that our classroom is a safe place, that they can feel empowered to make their town a safe place, to make their state a safe place.
So, excuse me, someone's talking about the other. They're the other.
Yeah, so
And
we
your
do a
kids say
lot of
what?
work to break that down and to separate why do we make divisions between us and them? And why is it so superficial and stupid, for lack of a better way to put it? And how do we bridge those gaps and find, so we talk about microaggressions, and we talk about just how you,
bias.
and how you reach
Implicit
out to
bias.
others, and how you be the upstander for someone in the hallway, in the lunchroom.
And the most
Few seconds
important
left, go
thing
ahead.
is student voices. And we have a diversity of students in the school. So when they share their voice and they can share their perspective and their experience, that is where the meaningful learning takes place. Like, this is what my friend has gone through. And I understand their ethnicity, their race, their gender.
Our differences.
Which
and
are
our
really not all that
similarities.
different in some ways.
Mary and Jamie, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
For everything you do and every day for these young people, which means for the rest of us later on when they become leaders in public. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back right after this.
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of Caucus New Jersey has been provided by the New Jersey Education Association, Wells Fargo, Guarini Institute for Government and Leadership at St. Peter's University, the Northward Center, New Jersey Resources, Summit Medical Group, and by Adler Aphasia Center, transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Caucus New Jersey has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.